Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. My name is Marva B. I am the CEO and founder of Black Link Magazine, a global publication, and we're so excited to be here interviewing KG. KG, what's up?
What's going on?
Thank you so much for being here and doing this interview. It is our pleasure to have you today.
Nah, it's definitely an honor. Definitely an honor.
Awesome. So go ahead and tell the world who you are and what you do.
Well, my name's KG. I'm a graphic designer based in Tallahassee, Florida, and I've been doing graphic design for about 10 years. I love what I do, have a great passion for it, always have been a very artistic person. And when I discovered graphic design, I was like, this is the perfect space for me to be in. Um, it allows me to be completely creative and let the juices flow and just connect with a lot of the things that I love, like sports and music. So um, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah. So I want to talk about your journey doing this because it was simply you took about 3 years to just kind of hone in on your craft and get
Yeah,
it together before you really just started like building the business and putting it out as a business. Let's talk about
right.
some of the hurdles that you had to endure to get through those 3 years because as a business owner myself, I understand the assignment. I understand. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so like I said, I always had a knack for being creative and artistic, and the whole journey really started my senior year in high school. I was a highly recruited athlete and didn't know what I wanted to go to school for. So doing research, I discovered graphic design. Um, I went to Purdue University for about a year to study graphic design, but ended up leaving the school and just in the midst of still not having any direction, knew that graphic design was what I wanted to do. So I taught myself, and I love that part about the story, like just teaching myself and having that discipline and drive and dedication to learn the craft and pick up the tools. And I started with a program called GIMP, and it's nothing like Photoshop. It's a lot more user friendly. But one day I was just like, if I want to make this a career, I want to get into this field, I got to learn what the industry is using. So decided to dive into Photoshop, and it was the hardest 3 or 4 years
So,
because I had to completely learn something, learn a whole new interface, and learn how to work my way around it and create what it was that was in my mind. So it was definitely tough.
so what was that process? Because, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I tried to be the graphics person for my magazine, and I had like an expert showing me, and I just couldn't do it. So, did you Google? Did you tap into resources? Did you just read? I mean, like, what was
So
that actual process?
so my process was completely Google. Like I didn't even use YouTube. I would jump in. I already knew how to like crop images and things like that. So I jumped in and I would Google like different tutorials, and they weren't like video tutorials; they were more like blog tutorials.
Uh-huh.
So I would read the blog tutorials, and they would show me, the still image. I didn't want to like stop a video and go back,
Yeah.
so I read the blogs, and that's how I learned certain techniques. So what I would do is I would spend about a week or longer mastering that technique the way that they did it, and then I would go back and create something that I wanted to create and kind of perfect their
Right.
technique. And that caught like so in the beginning. a lot of the work that I've done, you can see there's a long span of stuff that looks very similar to the first thing I created doing that technique. And the more I did it, the more I mastered it and tweaked certain things and was able to manipulate it the way I wanted to manipulate it.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So, what Black Link magazine is all about is keeping our culture in the forefront. We try to get us away from that stigma that we're uneducated and that we're angry Black women. And you are the best example that we can endure. Like we can learn this stuff and we can create businesses that are successful. So
Yeah.
after that 3 years, so I tip my hat to you for that, for even having the patience to learn it, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna hear about what you're doing currently, so we'll talk about
I
that.
got
But
it.
when the 3 years were up and you was like, okay, I'm ready, I think I got it. And now I want to promote it as an actual business. What was your first step? Like, what did you do to start getting yourself out there and things like that to
So
lead up to what you're doing today?
yeah, so to get started, I had friends who knew that I was doing the graphic design or I was learning. So once I got to a point where I was like, all right, you know what? I can tell people I do this and I want money for it. I, uh, I had a friend who was into music, and he was becoming an artist. And I had a good conversation with him, and I was like, man, this is something I want to do, and I want to showcase what I can do so that other people would want to come to me for the service I provide. And he was like, "Man, let's do it. I need a graphic designer. I'm new to the music, and I'm gonna need someone to make logos and covers and stuff for me. And as long as you do it for me, then I'll also send people to you." And that's how it worked. So I want to say for about 2 or 3 years, that's what we did. I was on his team, and when he needed artwork, and I would kick it out for him. And then in my downtime, I would learn how to design certain things like billboards or flyers or
Yeah,
even like business cards. All the promotional things that an artist would need. I I took it upon myself to learn so that I
that's
could
good.
provide it for him, but at the same time, be able to showcase what it is that I can do.
That's
So
that's really good. So
yeah,
you continue
and
doing that.
if you don't mind, I want to say that
Yeah.
friend he actually passed away. I want to say last year. He was in a bad car accident. So I just want to say, without my friend Kanari, I wouldn't have the eyes on my work that I do have currently because he was the one that gave me that start. So I just wanted
Right.
to say that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about your friend. I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah,
know. So I'm sorry. And even though it's been 2 years, it's still it's just not an easy thing, to go to. So we send our
yeah,
condolences even today. So anyway, you go through that with him, you guys are working, and then you um get connected in the industry, in the music industry, um, working with names like what was it, Def Jam,
yeah.
and others. Let's talk about that and let's talk about how that connection happened.
Okay, so in working with him, like you said, I gained many connections, throughout my freelance career of doing this. So the first connection was uh meeting a guy from I forget, it's a label in Atlanta. And they were looking at my friend to possibly sign him or work with him. And they were also housing artists like it was a chick called Chris. I forget her stage name, but and they had Columbus Short on their label. So I did an art piece for him. He shared it, and that got me a little bit of attention. And then we kind of fast forward through that. I'm from Tallahassee, so T Pain's from here. I did some stuff for artists that he was connecting with here, and that kind of got me a little notoriety. And then throughout that, I would do stuff for like football players and stuff like that. But eventually, I met an artist here who was connected to this group called Team 80 in New York, and they flew out a bunch of their artists to work with this guy. He was recording them and everything, and I was kicking out artwork for him. And one of the artists who's currently popular now, her song is getting a bunch of traction. Lola Brooke, I did some stuff for her, and I had been working with her for a few years before eventually getting on Clubhouse,
Mhm.
connecting with people there, and I met an A&R there who gave me a bunch of work for some artists that he had signed to different labels.
Oh
And then
wow.
one day out of the blue, he sent me a message to do some cover art for Fabulous.
Oh wow.
So knocked that out, and that one cover turned into two more covers, which turned into um, two or three more A&Rs getting in touch with me, which turned into doing work for a Hot Boy, an artist from Chicago named Big K Beezy. Did work for an artist called Stunner Girl, and it kind of just blew up over the past year. So,
Wow.
it's been a journey.
That's interesting. So on this journey, what is your best advice to someone who is, kind of struggling, wanting to build a business, build their brand, and just kind of struggling? What is the best advice that you're giving them?
Um, the best advice that I could give is to put on put on your blinders
Mhm.
and focus on focus on your business, focus on your goals, and do everything that you can to work towards those goals. And I say, put your blinders on because you don't want to see what everyone else in your industry is doing and compare yourself to where they are, because you just don't understand the amount of time, the amount of work that they put in to be able to do the things that they're doing. And you don't want to compare, where you are to where they are.
Right.
And sometimes it can get discouraging. Sometimes it could make you envious.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it could just knock off your focus and derail you from your goals and your mission. So
Right.
definitely, put your head down, get to work, and your time will come. It'll come. So
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on my time. I'm still putting my head down and working. So
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be yet. So
Yeah. I agree. And that when you just set goals and when you meet that goal, you set some more and you just
you
say,
set
like
more
you
goals. Yeah.
never stay stagnant. Never stay stagnant.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got some really good connections, but I think there's just so much more work that is ahead of you that you could be doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I just want to say congratulations on all that you're doing and for being, for sticking with it. So many times, we start stuff, and a lot of us start and stop, but you stay committed to that 3 years, and then look where it landed you,
Yeah.
doing all those things, and you still have, what's ahead. You never know. So good luck to you on all of that, and congratulations. Go ahead
Thank
and
you.
tell the world how they can connect with you on our social media sites.
Yeah, so you can connect with me. I prefer Instagram. I like the content that's on there.
Yeah.
So you can connect with me on Instagram at debryan.graphics. That's DEBRYNE dot graphics. Um, you can connect with me there. You can visit my site. I sell different design templates that up and coming and inspiring designers can use to help them,
Oh, wow.
just learn. You can look through the layers and learn different things from that, and also be able to use those templates to make yourself some money.
Yeah.
So and then I have a book coming out on March 1st, which teaches people the basics of Photoshop. So if you
Oh,
ever been
wow.
interested in
I
it,
am.
yeah. So if you ever been interested in learning Photoshop, you can get that book. It's on Amazon and Kindle, or you can go straight to my website and get it from there. And it's very easy, very simple to grasp and learn. And once you get done with that book, you should be able to know your way around the app a little bit. So,
What's your
and
website?
it has my website is www.debriangraphics.com.
Okay.
So spelled the same way as the Instagram and everything. And once you get to that book, it has a ton of resources in it, different links and everything where you can get the software, photos, fonts, all of
Wow.
that good stuff. So yeah.
That's good. I mean, this was so timely to have the interview so that people can go out and get your book on March the 1st. You guys go and let's support one another. I believe that when we support one another and help each other up, that we become a force to reckon. So, again, congratulations on all that you do. We appreciate your time. So for now, we're going to go. But remember, respect yourself, respect each other. God bless.